meeting, I want to go ahead and introduce to you a new feature to our project-based learning model at Crosstown next year. I'm going to give you a very brief overview of, of this, and I know that you might have some questions. And as Maggie already said, at 2 o'clock, if you'd like to ask any more questions about this, we'll be available to answer any questions. But this is a really exciting development in our life at Crosstown because we have been talking for a number of years since the very beginning about a desire to have some truly interdisciplinary projects where you're able to bring a lot of the learning that you're doing in a lot of places together to create one project where all that can come together. And so one of the things about next year's experience is that there's going to be a period in the day that we refer to as the capstone period. And that capstone period is going to be used to develop a single interdisciplinary project. So each grade level is developing a driving question. So your 11th grade experience next year is going to start with a question. And that capstone project that's going to be developed in that capstone period is where you're going to answer that question. So the purpose of this capstone space is to provide a dedicated time for all of you to collaborate on teams, to connect with community partners, to participate in all sorts of interdisciplinary learning experiences, and build out project checkpoints. So each week, that capstone period may look a little different depending on what the needs of the project are. It might mean leaving campus to have an experience that helps you understand a problem better. It might be engaging in different seminars that blend a couple of your classes. Like, for example, maybe your science class and your English class pair up during that period to engage in a discussion that starts to connect some topics that you've looked at separately in your classes through the week. That space is deliberately set aside for that project to be developed. What that means is that your individual classes are going to present material that lines up with that project, but the project itself lives in capstone. So instead of doing a bunch of different projects, you're going to be building one project that ties together all the learning that you're doing and allows you to select an area of individual interest as you go and design the final product based on that area of interest. So there's a combination of you getting to have some agency and some choice in how you reach the end product, but also together, everyone is working on this coherent project, which can allow for a lot more space for things to really develop. So all of your classes are arranged around this project. Think about like a hub in the middle of the wheel, right? And everything kind of rotates around this one project. And so as you enter your 11th grade year, you'll be able to start exploring some of these major questions, and you'll see how all the different courses that you're taking can relate to each other and allow you to bring some takeaways into this project space. So just to kind of close this out, why are we doing this, right? And so one of the reasons why we are developing a single capstone project is that interdisciplinary projects, one of them means more time to develop final products that are really quality. So instead of that feeling of being rushed to try to do multiple things at once, you can really stretch out throughout the semester and go deeper, right? And really get to a final product that is developed over a longer period of time with a singular focus. Also, everything is connected and life is interdisciplinary, right? So outside of high school, a lot of these divisions between subjects, like you just took an EOC today for math, right? Then earlier this week it was English. That separation that we do in real life, those lines aren't so clear. Like things blend together. We bring lessons from all these different subject areas, and you're going to get to do that in this project. There's also greater opportunities for learning experiences, like I said, that allow you to go deeper because you can use this carved out time to really make some connections that you can't make without that time. Interesting conversations and activities, community partner connections that can now happen a little bit more deliberately at that time of the day. And there's space to both make choices so you can understand how you want to explore a question in a way that's interesting to you, but also extra space to get support as you need it. So that is a really brief overview of Capstone. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. You'll get more details um, as we go. And I think next year is going to be a really fun way to really do project-based learning in a way that lines up with really who we want to be and where we want to go as a school. So that's it from me. And I guess I'm turning it over next to Sasha. Is that right? Miss Haynes, I'm sorry.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So happy to see everyone's faces, as Miss Maggie already both perfectly said, in one place at one time today here together. I am charged today just to communicate with you guys about the Tennessee State requirements, and after that, Miss Maggie will follow up with the graduation planners and, of course, selections and things to that nature that you all in your transcript that you all will see. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys as well. um, is going to be Tennessee State website overviewing the requirements for the state aligned with Crosstown. Okay, let me pull it up here. All right. If you're looking at my screen, you can see now Tennessee State Government of Department of Education website. It is aligned with Crosstown High School, as you will also see on your course selection sheets as you get ready to go through it. Okay. Just look at here. A lot of students always have a lot of questions pertaining to what is required. A lot of students say, well, I'm going to have 22 credits before then. Yes, you will. It is designed to be that way. Okay. So let's walk through. You are our rising 11th graders. You are almost at that 12th grade level. It'll be here before you know it. So let's look at it, okay? When you go over your transcript, Miss Maggie next, and she highlights these things here, 22 credits was what we need here. Four of those credits belong to your math, okay? You have to have Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, and your fourth higher level. That will be a statistic, a pre-cal, or anything to that nature in that next level of sequence. English 4, you have to have 4 years of that credit. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It can be substituted for AP courses and things like that as well. Science, you have to have 3 credits. You have to have biology. You have to have a chemistry. You have to have chemistry or physics, okay? And you have to have a third lab course. A lot of you all already is enrolled in that lab course, which is environmental, or already met that requirement, okay? Once you review a transcript, you'll see that. Social studies, you need 3 credits. You need a U.S. history, you need in geography, world history, or your and your geography, U.S. government and civics and economics. A lot of students think personal finance is a social studies credit, but it is not. It's an entity of its own. Okay, physical education and wellness. You need that 1.5 credit. You need a half a credit of PE. You need a 1 whole credit of wellness. There's no way around that. If you do have alternate PE credit, we also talk about that. If you are a part of a sport to that nature, you have we have an athletic director, which is Coach Thompson, and he will also sign off on that if you are sorry, a member of one of those teams that take care of that credit. Okay, personal finance, you have to have that, as I just said, as a half a credit. You will take that senior year. Foreign language, you need 2 years of foreign language. Please remember that it has to be that same simultaneous credit. If you have Spanish 1, you have to take Spanish 2. It doesn't have to be taken consecutively in those years. Just make sure you meet 2 whole credits before your senior year, okay? If you take Russian 1, take Russian 2. It cannot be Russian 1 and Spanish 1. It has to be that same foreign language area, okay? Fine arts, remember you have to take 1 whole credit of that before you graduate. Your elective focus will be 3 credit consisting of math, science, or CTE, fine arts or humanities. One great thing about that, Crosstown students have taken capstone 1, 2, and you'll be moving on to 3. If you look at that, those are all humanity credit hours. You will most definitely reach that. So when you get ready to pick those elective courses, make sure, of course, if you already met your requirements, have fun and choose whatever you want. Moving on into your 11th grade year, next year, these are the classes that you will take. You'll take English 3 or AP English, language and composition. You'll take your social studies, which will be AP US history, or yes, AP US history, or U.S. history, okay? Whichever one, all right? You would take geometry as your math class, or if you took geometry, whichever next in sequence. Your science will be chemistry or physics. If you took those classes, it'd be next in sequence, okay? You will have an option to choose 2 electives, all right? Make sure the electives can be maybe one that's a requirement or one fun for choice of yours, all right? And then, of course, your capstone 2 is mandatory, all right? Other than that, just continue to look at this in reference to your classes that you'll be taking, and I'm going to hand it over to Miss Maggie. And if you have any questions for me moving forward for anything that Miss Maggie talks about or anybody else, we are here as a team to discuss and follow with that, and you can schedule appointments, all right? Thank you, guys.
Hey, y'all. And again, I will, everything that you need, I am about to send you a link that to a document that has truly everything that you need for this, even like the links to mine and Miss Sasha's emails and Calendly's and everything else. So like, hold your horses, hold all of your questions till the end, because there are too many of you to all ask questions and like us answer them as we go. Let's see. And I'll share the links at the end. So give me just a second. Okay. Again, I'm going to share this document with you once I'm done talking about it. This is the guide to 2021-2022 course selections. Now, at the very top, again, and I'll say this so many times until I'm blue in the face. This is so important. It is so important. Make sure that you guys are all taking the classes that you need to graduate. It's a lot to handle. So again, you should have questions, and you will have questions, and you can ask them at the end or schedule a time to talk with me or Miss Sasha. Our emails are at the very top, and their Calendly links are on the bottom. I will get there. So to start, get everything together. If you are here in person today, which I think all but like a few of you are for 10th graders, you have been given your transcript in your room here. If you weren't here today, ask me or Miss Sasha, and we will send you your transcript. It's really easy. It'll take us just a few seconds. You should have also received your transcript over email from Miss Sasha at the end of semester 1. So that was either in December or like early January. The second thing that you need is a graduation planner. If you're in person, these were given to you today in your base camp where you tested. This is what it looks like. Shows student name, projected graduation year, English, math, science, and all of the courses that are specifically required to graduate from high school in the state of Tennessee. Now, once you have both of those things in front of you, you can also open up this course requirements document just to quadruple check. This is truly in like every single document, and it has how many credits you need to graduate from the state of Tennessee. And if you scroll down to 11th grade, because that's what grade you guys will be in, it shows what you have to take as Crosstown High students next year. That is English, social studies, math, a science class, either chemistry or physics, 2 electives, and a capstone credit. Every single student is taking capstone next year. So that's 7 classes. I think someone asked me that in the chat earlier. Now, once you have all of those things in front of you, let's figure out what you've earned. So you're going to transfer all of your earned credits from your transcript to your graduation planner. So you'll look at your transcript and you'll say, wow, in 9th grade, I took honors English. Here's 9th grade, English 1, and I earned 1 credit. 10th grade, English 2, so on and so forth. You'll do the same thing for math. You'll do the same thing for science, social studies, etc. If you're in a class currently, it shows up as like half of a credit next to it. So let's say for you guys are in English 2 right now. If you have only earned half a credit, only put half a credit in that box. Now, going on, also those of you who are in sociology, I forgot to tell the last group this, but sociology counts as an elective credit. So it doesn't show up underneath social studies here. you'll put it right down here in electives. You can ignore this. That was an example. Okie doke. So you will need to, as you're working on this graduation planner, you will need to review and compare your earned credits to the graduation requirements for the state. You are going to circle empty boxes that represent the credits that you plan to take next year. So most of you will be in geometry next year. So you'll circle geometry. Those of you who have already taken it, you'll be in pre-calculus or whatever other math class you want to take. Now, and once you've done that, you can review your course options for next year. So you're going to click into, from this document, the elective course catalog. This is really where most of your choice happens. On this document, again, the Tennessee and grade level required courses are linked to it again. The elective or the AP frequently asked questions and course catalog is linked to this. Anything to do with dual enrollment, again, linked to this document. You'll have all of this. Don't freak out yet. As you go on, for the elective section underneath your grad planner, so it looks like this, you'll see something that says elective focus. So let's say you took Visual Art 1 your freshman year. Well, let's say you're in Visual Art 2 right now. Now, it is a fine arts elective credit. So underneath this area where it says elective focus area, you will say fine arts. You are taking it currently and you're in 10th grade, so you've earned half a credit most likely. You can also, again, that document includes all of the elective course catalog and course descriptions and everything, the AP course descriptions, and anything to do with dual enrollment. Now, once you have done all of those things, and you don't have to do them alone, you can do them with me or Miss Sasha. Again, email us, set up a Calendly. I'll tell you that 100 times before you leave school this May. You will click into rising 11th graders. Can you believe it? Current 10th graders. You'll click into this. You probably saw a form that looks a lot like this from last year. It's just about the same thing. It has the description of your elective courses right up top, the AP courses right up top, and just a frequently asked questions document right up top. It also, if you see any problems with the form, please let me know. You will put in all of your contact information, parent contact information, your current advisor. It shows what classes you must take next year. And then you get to go through and choose them. So again, for English, you get to choose between English 3 and AP English Language and Composition. For math, you've got a bunch of choices because a lot of you are going to be taking geometry next year. And some of you have already taken geometry or are currently in geometry. So you choose a different math class. Science, you can choose between chemistry and physics. And then you get to your electives. If you want to take certain AP classes you will have to take as an elective class. So like AP biology, since you guys have already taken biology, you can take AP biology, but you have to take it at the exact same time as you take either chemistry or physics because chemistry and physics are required to graduate. AP biology is not. So you'll go through all of these. If you are taking a dual enrollment course, you'll put your answer here, dual enrollment course selection. And we also have a couple of 1 semester courses. So those are African American history, health and fitness, and then study hall, which doesn't earn you any credits, but I mean, sometimes it's just necessary. So once you have filled that out, Miss Haynes and I will look at all of these forms and we're going to look at them by grade level because that's necessary. So we have to focus on the seniors first because they're about to graduate and then it'll be you guys. So we are going to give you the classes that you are required to take first. And then if you have other fun electives that you want to take, you are welcome to do so. But that's pretty much, yeah, I've already explained that. So need help making your picks. I am sure that you guys have questions for me and Miss Sasha. I am positive that you will have questions once your parents see all this information. So you can either email me or Miss Sasha. Our emails are right at the very top of this document, or you can click on our names down here and schedule a Calendly, or schedule a time with us to meet on Calendly. Okay, I'm going to send you this document right now. If you have questions, please stick around. Or if you want to ask us something individually, you can email or schedule a time with us to meet on Calendly. I'm going to email you this document also. So if you like lose it somewhere, don't worry, it'll be on your email and Parent Square and Canvas. So there you go. Stick around if you have questions.
I must have done just such an amazing job of explaining everything that there are no questions. Good job.
Also, these were recorded and I will send all of those to you over email as well. So don't freak out. This was a lot of information.